Of course, you're listening live here on Marvelous Monday on 12radio.com. I am so excited to be back with you. I have missed Kindred Spirits 2 weeks in a row, which sometimes happens in the summer because I do try to get out a little bit. I do like to go camping and, get away a little bit. But I've missed you, and so it's nice to be here with you today. It's exciting to be back. So I hope you've been listening this morning. I hope you heard 1-2 News. Boy, we had a good time on that show. I hope you were here with Mo because that is always a great time. And if you haven't read Mo's article in the Power Peak, do yourself a favor and go read that hilarious story. Okay. I just had to get that out because if you have not heard that story, you need to hear it. Please join me in the chat. You can do that by going to 12radio.com and clicking on the chat button, and that will bring you right into our Facebook group, where, of course, over 3,000 of you are already members. But if you're not, this is an easy way to do it. Just ask my producer to let you right in the door. You'll find me in the chat room ×2. I am live on Facebook Live today, so you can watch the video of the show if you would like to. Or if you're just listening and you would like to participate in the chat, you'll see the pinned post at the top of the page is my banner. Scott posted that for me, and that's where we'll be chatting. So if you want to ask me a question or make a comment, it's best to do it there because the feed on the video rolls up and I lose your comments over time, and so I can't always address them on the show. But I love knowing you're there, so of course give me a heart or a smiley face or something there to let me know you're listening. I really enjoy doing Facebook Live. I didn't know that I would, I never knew I would like radio. And then I loved radio. And now I like doing video. And I never knew I would like doing video. Some people ask me, aren't you self-conscious? Doesn't it make you nervous? I have to admit, it really doesn't. I don't even really think about it. I just like being here with you. And it feels like when I'm talking to you on Facebook Live that I can look you right in the eye, sort of. And I don't get that opportunity in lots of ways because most of you I only talk to on the phone or know through the radio, and maybe we'll never meet you in person. And so it's kind of like doing video gives me that opportunity in a way. I don't know. I know it's weird because be for sure, I can't actually see you. I don't want to freak anyone out. They're like, oh my God, she can see into our house. No, that's not true at all. But it feels that way a little bit, that I can look you in the eye. And I like to interact with you that way because, everything that I do is about energy. And so I like that interaction because that helps me to connect to all of you. So it's a lot of fun to do that. I have something really exciting for me, and I hope it's exciting for you to share with you today. I have jumped back into the scopes world over at 1-2 Listen. I used to do scopes. You probably were familiar with my crystal scopes. I did those for a while, and I've had a break for the last couple of years from scopes, and then I had this epiphany to do something different with scopes, something different for me. And I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to share those scopes with you today. My new scopes are called Energy Shift Scopes. I realized that a lot of the work that I do is about helping you shift out of a stuck energy into an energy that is flowing and moving. I do that all the time for myself. I do that for other people in lots of different ways. And so I realized that maybe a scope around that theme would be a really good idea because it's something that I'm already doing quite a bit of. So I'm going to share my June energy shift scopes with you. But first I want to tell you a story that illustrates what I'm talking about with energy shift scopes. This weekend, Friday and Saturday, I had the privilege of getting to watch my nieces play in a fast-pitch softball tournament. So my niece Mia is playing on a 12-year-old team, and my niece Mariana is playing on a 14-year-old team. And this is fast-pitch softball. Now, I played tons and tons of slow pitch, but we didn't have fast pitch around my area when I was a kid. And these guys are hardcore. I am not kidding. They are dressed to the nines in baseball uniforms and cleats. They wear face masks so that they're not afraid of that super fast ball. They are beasts, man. It is so fun to watch them. But something happened with my niece Mariana's team on Friday that I think is a really good illustration of what I'm talking about when I talk about an energy shift. So Mariana's team played 2 games and they lost both of them. They fought really hard and worked very well in a lot of ways. But they're kind of a new team together, and so they're still adjusting to working as a team. So, backing each other up, trusting each other, moving in sync, which you have to do with softball, moving toward the ball. If the ball isn't in your area, you move toward it so that you can back up your teammates. Those kinds of things. So understanding their positions is something kind of new for some of the team members. Some have a lot of experience with that and some don't. So after the second game, they were pretty down. They were pretty frustrated. They were blaming each other and struggling. And then we found out that they weren't going to play again until 9:30 p.m. And so they had like 2.5 hours break in between games, which was a really long time. And they found a field that was empty, and they started just messing around. First, they were horsing around and just playing and joking, which was really good because it started building their rapport and shifting that energy between them, that they were getting into a better place of, getting along with one another and sort of creating friendships again with each other. And then it turned into a full-blown practice where they were all playing in their positions, and their coach was working with them, and some of the parents were working with them, and they were hitting balls to them and really practicing how you move toward the ball and how you back each other up. And great things were happening. And so when they started their third game, which didn't actually start till 9:45 p.m. So this is Idaho. It had been 80 degrees all day, but by 9:45, it is starting to cool down. It's starting to get cold. Lots of us, I was wrapped up in a big old blanket because I was freezing. So I was a little worried about them. They practiced for so long, the temperature changed. But man, they came out really strong in their first inning. They batted first. They batted really strong. They got up and hit some really good balls. They got some runs in. It was really solid. And then the other team got up and they fielded really well. They got their 3 outs with them really quickly. And just as that inning was ending, something happened that changed the energy of the entire thing. Okay. So they'd already had one energy shift. After the 2 losses, they spent some time together, really worked together, rebuilt their relationships and trust. And there was a shift, and they came in as a team that was really solid. Right. So then after the end of that first inning, the field lights just went dead. There are a couple of different stories about why they went dead. There were some little boys over playing by the power box, and they ran like crazy when the lights went off, and so some people think they shut them off or accidentally bumped them or something. Somebody else said that the lights got too hot, they shut down on their own. But either way, when those big field lights shut off, you can't just turn them back on. They have to have a certain period of time to cool before you can turn them back on, or they blow their bulbs. So we had to sit there in the dark, in the cold, for nearly a half an hour before they got the field lights back on. And that absolutely took the wind out of Mariana's team. When they came back onto the field, they were struggling again. They weren't, they weren't as together as they had been before. They were tired. They were cold. You could see it. I felt bad for them because physically this had been a brutal experience. And it turned out that they got beat. But this is a really good example of what I'm talking about with energy shift. We have things that happen that take the wind out of our sails, right? Something happens that just knocks you down, or that's getting in the way of you moving forward, something that's holding you back, that's keeping you stuck in the mud, and you have to change something in order for the energy to shift. You have to cause a shift. You can stay stuck in that mud for a long time. And I think if you think back, most of us have had experiences where we have stayed stuck in that mud for a long time. So sometimes you need to do something consciously to shift yourself back into a place of movement and change and growth. And so that's my premise for energy shift scopes, is I'm going to read sort of a general reading for each sun sign every month. And then I'm going to give you an idea of an area of your life that you're probably kind of stuck in right now, and give you an activity or an exercise of some sort to shift you out, to shift you back into a place of motion and movement and pushing forward. So I'm going to review those with you today. I'm going to share my scopes with you. I will, I think at the end of the show, have time for some questions and to do a few readings. So feel free to ask for that. I'm not going to do a meditation today because I really wanted to focus on my scopes because I'm just excited about this. So I'm going to jump right in. We'll start with Gemini since that's the sign that we are currently in. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I wrote, and I'm going to give you the activity that you can do. And everybody's got a little bit different activity. Gemini, this month, things are keeping you stuck. The things that are keeping you stuck are all about perfection. You're not perfect, and neither is anybody else in your life, so get over it. This month, your job is to practice allowing. Practice letting things be just exactly as they are without trying to change them. This will take some practice, and you will resist because perfectionism is something that you struggle with. Start each new day with the goal that you aren't going to try to change anything about yourself or anyone else in your life. Simply accept everything as it is. Write the word accept on some Post-it notes and put them in places where you need to see them. So maybe on the mirror in your bathroom, maybe on the steering wheel of your car, or anywhere else that you might be that you do a lot of overthinking and trying to change everything. So Gemini, this month is not about change. This month is about allowing things to be as they are, allowing yourself to be as you are, and everyone around you. The Post-it notes are important because you will need reminded. You're in a habit of trying to strive for perfection in yourself and push that in everyone else. It's too much. You're judging yourself too harshly and everybody else. So it's a really good opportunity to practice just accepting everything as it is right now in this moment. Not everything actually needs to change. And most things really are just fine as they are. So get those Post-it notes, write those notes, and put them up where you can see them to remind yourself to shift your energy into a place of acceptance. Okay, Gemini, that's your message. Cancer, this month you're getting stuck in that idea that everything has to be fair. Well, it doesn't. Sometimes somebody else wins. Sometimes somebody else gets the better deal. The idea of fairness is useless in this world. Nothing's fair. And all you can do is appreciate what you have now and not worry about what the other guy is getting. A gratitude exercise will help shift you out of this fairness thinking into a place of observing what you do have and being grateful for it. Try keeping a gratitude journal for the month. Every day, write down 10 things that you are grateful for, and once a week, go back and reread. I think you may be surprised at all the fantastic things that you have in your life. Include people, relationships, pets, your job, and anything else that you are grateful for. Some days it might just be a hot cup of coffee, and that's okay. Sometimes, Cancer, we get stuck in that striving feeling that we have to make everything fair, that we have to strive for better constantly, and we forget to appreciate what we have right now. We forget to look at what we have already brought forward in our lives and what we have and the people who we have in our lives. So this is a great opportunity for you to do that this month. So keep that gratitude journal. It's a great idea to reread it at least once a week because you remind yourself of things that you've forgotten that are important to be grateful for. Okay, Leo, you're next. Oh, my Chromebook is jumping around on me. Leo, this month you're spreading yourself too thin. You're working too hard, you're doing too much, and you're not giving yourself enough time to rest. You feel stuck. You feel like you never stop, and you feel like you never get to do anything you want to do. It's time to get yourself out of that cycle. Work on a priorities journal this month. Every day, make a list of the things that are really important to you today. It can include your job and, of course, your family and any other obligations you have. But be sure to include things that really matter to you. What's something you really want to do today? As you work on this journal, you'll find that your priorities will begin to shift, and you will notice things that you've been putting high on the list that really aren't that important to you. By the end of the month, you'll find that you will have let some things go that really no longer matter or take up too much of your time, or you're doing simply out of obligation. So give that a try. Sometimes, Leo, when we get spread so thin, we really have to remind ourselves what is really important, what actually matters to us, and cut out the rest. It's sort of a cutting out the dead wood kind of a situation where it's important to let go of things that really aren't all that important so that you have time for the things that are. Remember, you get to decide what's important to you. You get to decide what matters and what you want to put your time and energy into. If you're doing things that other people have put on you, let them go. All right, Virgo. Virgo, have you ever noticed that no matter how much advice you give, other people still just keep making their own choices? This month, it's a great idea to get out of that place of trying to change everybody else and control everybody else's life, and just focus on your own. There is no doubt that you are wise and you have lots of great things to offer this world, but other people are going to do what they're going to do. You feel stuck because of other people's problems. It's time to let go of that. This month, practice focusing on yourself and your own life. Use thought stopping to assist you with this. Every time you think about somebody else's issues and something they're struggling with and what you could do to help them, stop yourself intentionally and shift your focus to something in your own life. It will take practice to shift your habit in thinking away from other people's stuff and into your own. But it's a valuable skill. Thought stopping is a really useful skill, but in this case, it's great to shift your thinking and your focus back to yourself. So when you start solving everyone else's problems in your head, stop yourself consciously and shift back to something that you need to do for you. Okay, Libra, this month, it's stuff that's keeping you stuck. It's time to de-junk. Let go of things that no longer serve you and give yourself some clarity. Go through your closets, clear out your drawers, and release anything that really doesn't serve you anymore. Stuff you don't like. Let go of things you haven't used in 6 months or a year or 5 years. You need clarity in the energy in your home, and clutter is getting in the way of that. This is your opportunity to donate some things that can be used by someone else, to sell some things, to give yourself some money to go get a massage, and to release yourself from the obligation of things. The weight of things in your life may be really holding you down, may be affecting your motivation, may be making you tired and depressed at home. Releasing stuff raises the vibration of your living space, which naturally raises your vibration. You may find that you feel more motivated, that you feel more energized to do things that you want to do, and that you may even feel more inspired creatively when you have let some of that heavy energy of stuff go out of your life, Libra. Scorpio. Scorpio, this month you are too hard on yourself, and that is keeping you stuck. There are some things you'd like to move forward with, but honestly, you have some fear that's all about, am I really good enough? The bottom line is that yes, of course you are, and everyone around you would say, what are you thinking? Of course you're good enough. But it's about changing your own thoughts about yourself that will get you out of this rut. Now, I could tell you to stand in the mirror every day and look at yourself and say, I love you. But, Scorpio, I know that you would tell me to fuck off if I did that. So let's try something else. You're very good at seeing the good in everybody else. Now it's time to turn that on yourself. This is not mirror work, but this is getting outside of yourself. This is best done in meditation in a space where there is no judgment allowed. So tell yourself that and then practice. Think about yourself, your life, your achievements, and everything you've done and everywhere you're headed as though you were seeing this in someone you care about. If you were to look at your life from the outside, how would you feel about it? Practice objectively reviewing yourself like you do everyone that you meet every day. It's a shift in thinking, and it will take practice, but I know you can do it. Don't forget, Scorpio, that you give everyone else the benefit of the doubt, and you don't give it to yourself. So now is your chance to do that. Sag, you are scattered this month. You've got too many irons in the fire. You've said yes too many times, and this is keeping you stuck. This month, practice that famous 2-letter word, no. This is a good opportunity for you to really prioritize what you actually want to do versus what other people think you would be good at. You get stuck with a lot of extra work and jobs because other people see you as someone with wisdom, skills, and the ability to show up and be reliable. Just because you are all of those things does not mean that you have to do something that you don't really want to do. You get stuck in resentment when you take on things that you never wanted in the first place. Then you get stuck in inertia. This month, say no when you really want to say no. Sag, you're kind of a people pleaser. And so when people say, we'd really appreciate it, we'd love it if you could, it's hard to say no. And so you have to practice. You got to know I'm a Sag, and I'm speaking directly to myself with this because I am just as bad as anybody else when it comes to this problem. But it's okay to say no. Just because you'd be good at something does not mean that you have to do it if you don't want to do it. Okay? N-O. That's your word. Okay, Capricorn. Cap, you let everything get too heavy. You have let everything get too heavy recently. You're kind of stuck in that deep well of emotion that is singular to your sign. This month is all about having fun doing things that are lighthearted, getting out of the darkness. It's easy to get sucked into your own darkness as well as everybody else's and start to feel like everything sucks. In reality, it doesn't, but you are stuck in that place of being too connected to other people's problems. It pulls you down, it brings your mood down, and it makes you sad and tired. This month, practice having some fun, practice focusing only on your own emotions, and getting clear about what are your problems to solve and what aren't. An important question for you this month, Cap, is to ask the question, is this mine? And if the answer is no, it isn't, pass it along to whoever it belongs to so that you can move forward. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, you get a little too stuck in the details. Time to let some things go. It doesn't matter if everyone remembered to turn off all the lights all the time. Everybody makes mistakes, and the little stuff just really doesn't matter in the long run. It's okay this month to practice just letting go of little things that really bug you about other people. You can work on this by practicing intentionally becoming aware of the things that you really love about people. So when you feel yourself getting all nitpicky about something, stop and ask yourself, wait a minute, what do I love about this person? What do I appreciate about them? What is it that keeps me coming back for more? You'll find that there's a whole lot less to worry about. It's important to remember that we all make mistakes. We all leave our socks on the floor. We all forget to put our dishes in the dishwasher. But those aren't the things that really matter. Those aren't the things that make us really matter to other people. So remembering, Aquarius, to shift your attention to, why do I love this person? What do I love about them? Will help you to get out of that need to control all the little stuff. Okay? Okay, Pisces. You're stuck in a rut. You don't like change. You like things to stay the same, and you like routine. That's not a bad thing. But sometimes it honestly gets boring, and that's when you really lose your spark. This month, try some new things. Shake it up. Get some variety in your life. Be intentional about doing things differently than you've done them in the past. Go to different places, see different people, eat different food. Bringing back variety into your life will bring the spark of creativity that you feel you've lost recently. It's not gone. It's just bored. All right. I hope, Pisces, you can go out and do some new stuff. I did this the other day. We were going out to dinner, and I'm not a Pisces, but I needed this as well. We were going out to dinner, and we were debating about, the 3 or 4 restaurants we always go to. And I realized how bored I am with all these restaurants. Like, gosh, we just eat the same things over and over again. And so a Facebook friend had mentioned a Mexican restaurant in town I'd never been to. And it took some looking to find it. We drove around for a while before we finally found it. But it was so worth it. It was a different kind of Mexican food. It was a place that does mole. And I don't know if you know about mole, but mole is delicious. And the Mexican restaurants we usually go to don't sell mole. And I love mole. So it was really fun to go to a different place and eat something different. And it was just it's weird how something small like that can shift your energy and shift you back into a place of creativity. So see what you can find out there, Pisces. Okay, let's see, Aries. I'm coming back up to the top because we started at Gemini. Aries, if I were singing these scopes, I would be singing that annoying song from Frozen, Let It Go. This month, the energy that is keeping you stuck is the energy of holding on to something that no longer serves you. It's time to practice taking out the trash. An easy way to do this is sit in meditation and visualize yourself throwing rocks into a pond. With each rock, say something out loud that you need to let go of and then throw it in the water. Don't carry any of those rocks in your pockets because it's time to let it go. Okay, Taurus, you're the last one today. Taurus, you have a sliver in your heart chakra. This month, the thing that's keeping you stuck is some old emotional pain that you're still hanging on to. It's something that everybody else has walked away from a long time ago, but you seem unable to release it. It causes you pain and discomfort, and it holds you back from being truly open in your heart. In order to release it, let's practice some journaling this month. You need a dumping journal. This is a journal that you use to release anything that you don't want to carry with you anymore. This is not a journal to leave around for your posterity. This is one of those things you don't want anyone else to read, and you never need to read it again either. Write down all that painful stuff that's in your heart. Say all the bad words, get it all out, and once you have filled up the book, burn it. I love a dumping journal. It's a great idea, but it's certainly one that you never go back and reread it. You don't want anyone else to reread it. When it's full, burn it. It's just stuff that needs to be released. It is literally garbage, so let it go. Those are the energy shift scopes for June. I hope you are enjoying them as much as I am. I love this idea, something, that I think I've been doing for a long time, but to make it specific to the signs I think is really, really fun. And I'm looking forward to doing them every month. So I added something to do along with that. So I have a new email reading over at 12Listen, and it's called Energy Shift. Let's get you moving. So if you are feeling stuck, or you feel like you're walking through mud, shifting your energy creates movement in your life. It creates change, it creates growth, and moves you forward toward your goals. All you have to do is tell me where you are stuck, and I will give you an energy shift exercise for you to practice to shift you out of park and into drive. So we take this one step further than the scopes. Give me an opportunity to help you with a specific issue. So if you feel like there's an area of your life that you're very stuck, I will do a reading on the energy of that situation, and I will give you an exercise for you to practice to help get you out of the stuckness of that particular issue. So I'm enjoying this work, looking forward to that. So that is an email reading over at 12Listen. I did post a link to it in the chat, or you can go to 12listen.com and click on my name and you will find it there as well. Let's see. One other thing I wanted to share with you, and then I'll get to some readings in the chat. I do have a group coming up on Saturday over at 12 Academy. So this is my June Energy Clearing Guided Meditation. So this is it's a monthly group that I do. It is a guided meditation / energy healing group. So I always take a look at whoever is registered in the group. I take a quick look at your energy bodies and ask, what is it that you need to clear this month? What is it that you're ready to let go of in June? And then we do a guided imagery meditation that is also an energy healing as a group in the class. It is not something that you have to attend live, because I will read the energy of everyone who's registered, and then you can get the recording. I encourage you to listen to the recording multiple times throughout the month, because it's something that will be helpful multiple times. So that's coming up this Saturday, June 10th at 9 a.m. Pacific over at 12 Academy. So looking forward to sharing that with you. One thing I did want to say about the scopes. I don't know about you, but I like to read my sun sign, my moon sign, and my rising sign. Whenever I read somebody's scope, I read all three. So I'm a sun Sag, I'm a Capricorn rising, and I'm a Libra moon. And so I like to read all three of them because I feel like they all hit me at some angle with what's going on with my life. So I recommend that you do that, because it's certainly valuable information. In some areas of my life, I feel like I'm more a Capricorn than a Sagittarius, and so I like to read them both because I feel like both of them have truth for me in the scope. So check that out. See if there are multiple ways that the energy shift scopes can be helpful to you. Okay, well, I'm trying to refresh Facebook so that I can get to your comments and do some readings here on the show. Facebook and my Chromebook have not been very good friends today. I'm not sure why. Maybe my Chromebook needs an energy shift, which means a restart. It doesn't have very much memory, and so I think it it gets befuddled pretty quickly. Let's see. Oh, Marina in the chat says, I love the idea of a dumping journal. Oh, good. I'm glad. That's a really useful practice to just, write it all down, get it all out, say all the bad words, and then move on, Not something that you have to go and reread and save by any means. Oriana says, Kristi, I had the craziest dream that I was able to time travel. I traveled back to the past and saw my old office manager. Her face looked different. She looked really pretty to me, almost angelic. I told her not to do anything to her face like injections. It will change it. What does it mean? Wow. Oriana, you're the best with crazy dreams. That's very interesting. Well, I think that time travel dreams, from my perspective, remind us that this linear time that we live in is something that is a human construct. It's what our brains do to make sense of the world that we live in. On the energy plane, on the spirit plane, can we move back and forth? I think we can in a lot of ways. I find it interesting, though, that this person that you told her not to change anything about herself, I think it's important to remember that a lot of times people that we encounter in dreams are representations of ourselves in some way. I think it might be a really good reminder to you, Oriana, that you are perfect just as you are and that you don't need to change yourself in any way. So if there's anything in your life right now that's pressuring you to change yourself, this is a good reminder that you don't need to do that. Okay? Thank you for that question. That's a cool dream. Oh, Pamela says, definitely need to unstick a few things. Don't we all? I mean, we're all stuck in some area. I know we are. I am. I always get stuck on something, And so I think it helps sometimes to get an outside perspective of what we need to move forward with. Laura says, good morning. Looking forward to your scopes. If there's anything you can do, if there's time, you can do an energy healing with some anxiety I'm experiencing. I sure can. Ooh. Boy, I do not like that pressure in your heart chakra, Laura. Oh, this is a heart throat block. Okay, so I will move as much of the energy as I can, but with a heart throat block, this is a block that happens between the heart and the throat chakra where you feel some emotions that do not get verbally expressed or expressed in some way. And so they sort of get stuck in the middle between your heart and your throat, and they just sort of sit there. They're often the cause of anxiety because emotions are energy that need to be expended, and so they need to be expressed in some way. That's how we burn them off. These emotions are still stuck inside of you, Laura. So I'm going to clear as much of the pressure and energy out of there as I can, but I do think it's important for you to think about what is it that you need to express? What's stuck in there that you haven't been able to say? This might be useful, that exercise that I stated earlier for Aries, the rock throwing exercise. You could do this in a meditation, or you can do it for real. You could go down to a body of water and pick up some rocks and speak some words into them and throw them into the water. It's a great way to release that emotional energy that's in there. You could do it in a meditation as well. Both are great ways. My inner peace meditation, that is a free download over at kristibrower.com, is actually that exercise. So you could get that meditation and speak those words. Somehow they need to be spoken to be released, and you'll find that that will ease your anxiety. Okay, so thanks for being here, and thank you for that question. Marina says, any message for me from my guides? I stayed home today because I was not feeling well. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Whew, let's see. First of all, I just want to validate that you did stay home, because more than anything, your body feels tired to me. You feel like you needed a day, just a day to be down and rest, and I feel like you did a good thing validating that about yourself. So recognizing when you need a break, when you need to just have a couch day, a Netflix day, whatever you call it, I feel like that's really, really important. I do think also that it would be helpful for you to today, while you're home and resting, to look at what is it that you're dreading. There's a sense of dread in your energy body. I feel like there's something that you have to do or are doing or are expected to do that you're really dreading. It's something that you don't want to do, but you're feeling pushed. And that energy of dread is so low vibrating, it makes us sick. Often we get sick from dread. Our physical bodies just don't tolerate that energy very well. So think about what you're dreading and look at how you can shift it. If it's related to work, can you talk with your boss or a coworker or someone to assist you with it or change it in some way? If it's something else in your personal life, I feel like you need to reach out to somebody for some support so that it's something that you do not have to do alone. Okay? And I think that that will help. But I want to validate the need to just stay home and rest today as well. Thank you for that question. Lots of love to you. Andrea says, I feel like I am on the precipice of something. I have been tested and tested over the last few years. Would love any message related to a new love interest or my career and finances. Date of birth is 9/21. Okay, Andrea. Gosh, so many of us feeling so tested in the last few years. I feel like we've been through a trial by fire in which we are preparing for something really important. And I understand that feeling because I feel it myself and I feel it in a lot of other people. Here's the key. There is no right answer to this question. The answer to this question comes only about what it is that you actually want to do. Don't sit and wait for the right thing to happen. I feel like a change in your job situation will come before a relationship will come. But I do feel a change in job. I feel a shift happening. I do feel like it's something that you have to develop yourself. And so you really have to get out there and do it. So it's important for us to be honest with yourself about what is it that you really want to do, what really matters to you, and that's where you put your energy. Even if it seems counterintuitive, even if it seems like maybe you won't make as much money or it's outside the field that you normally work in, that doesn't matter. This is about what you love and what you want. And when you put your energy in that direction, it's going to turn into something. But put that first, recognize that you have to get through that and the energy of that before a relationship is going to come. So they are sort of in an order. I feel like the next 6 months are really important when it comes to career and finances. So think about what is it that you're doing that you feel like you're supposed to be doing versus what is it that you actually want to be doing. And that's how you make the shift. Okay? Thank you very much for that question and for being here. Laura says, Cap here, and this is the second message I've gotten about asking, is this mine? Thank you for the reminder. I love that. I love those synchronicities. You know, none of us coordinate anything that we do here on 1-2 Radio or the Scopes or anything at 1-2 Listen. We all just kind of do our own thing. But when it comes down to it, we often say the same things to people. We often have the same messages in the same time period. And that's just because we're all connected and reading the energy of the collective. So that's very cool. Okay, Liliana says, I would love an energy clearing. Feeling really anxious and stressed. Tonight is my son's graduation and tomorrow my birthday. Tonight I will see a few people I really don't want to see. Ah, okay. Darn those family get-togethers, right? Sometimes we just don't have a choice, especially when it comes to our children. So, okay, Liliana, we're going to do a clearing first. I'm just going to stabilize your root chakra. I feel like the anticipation of this situation has really kind of thrown you off your center. First thing I want you to remember is this is your son. This is your child. This should go the way that you want it to go and the way that he wants it to go. You two are top of the list about what matters here. It's okay to put your attention and focus on him. This is his graduation. Just because there are people there that you don't particularly like does not mean that you have to speak to them or really interact with them very much at all. Your job is to be there for him. Remember that. So be careful with getting yourself into that sense of obligation where you have to make small talk and, you know, be more than just courteous to people. You don't. You're not here for them. You're here for him. Remember that. That's important. That's a very important part of the message. Okay, so I've stabilized your root chakra, which will help you to feel much stronger. Now, the next thing I want to remind you of is to employ the theory or the practice of using a wall of bulletproof glass. So in this particular case, since you're going to be in a public place, I would think of it like a shield. Think of it like if you were holding a shield in front of you that was made of bulletproof glass, and no energy from outside of you can penetrate that shield. That's what you need to take with you tonight to the graduation, is a shield that protects you from their energy. You can be there, interact as you need to be polite and courteous. You don't have to be anybody's friend that you don't want to be. But be courteous and protect yourself. Hold that shield in front of you, knowing that it will keep you from picking up any energy. Nothing from them can penetrate that shield and affect you. So use that visual. I think that that will help to shift the energy out of anxiety and stress into a place of empowerment. Remember, if you feel energy bearing down on you that you do not like, instead of curling up in a ball, push your energy out away from you. Make your bubble bigger. Push your energy out from your heart past arm's length and make your bubble bigger, creating a larger barrier around yourself so that you feel protected rather than encroached upon, okay? And I think you're going to do just great, Liliana. So congratulations to your son and happy birthday tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Robbie said would love a reading if time permits. Oh, Robbie, your crown chakra is so overactive, it's making me dizzy, man. Okay, so you are spending really a lot of time in your head. Now, we all do this to some extent, but your energy, it's like your energy body has pulled itself up, and so most of your energy is up here in your upper chakras. Your lower chakras are very underactive. So it actually you look like a very big tornado right now. So I'm going to pull that energy back down into your root chakra and stabilize your root and ground you. So it's important to remember that you need some kind of physical activity every day to get back into your body. And when you do this, say for example, you go out for a walk around the corner, or like around your block or something like that. Don't wear headphones. Don't listen to music or look at your phone the whole time you're walking. Walk, pay attention to what it feels like to be in your body as you're, grounding and rooting. And just pay attention to the ambient noise around you. Listen to the birds and the cars and other people and whatever you hear. That gets you back into your body because that's real. I feel like it would be important, Robbie, for you to evaluate your screen time. And I know this is just as much a problem for me as it is for everybody else. Screen time is time in virtual reality. Time looking at your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer, your TV. All of that stuff isn't real. And so it's only happening in our heads. And it really pulls us up out of our bodies and makes that crown so big. So I've got your root stabilized and your chakras balanced. So now it is your job to help stay in your body. One thing that will help is my energy breathing meditation. If you don't already have it, you can pick it up at kristibrower.com. It's free, and it's a great meditation to help keep you in your body. So give that a try, and just remember to take a break from screen time here and there, okay? Thanks for the question. Or Kevin says, oh man, the Sag and Cap totes describe my situation to a T. Well, I'm glad to hear it. That's great to hear. And that's funny because Sag and Cap are sort of me as well, Kevin. Oriana said, I loved my scope. It was right on. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, Kevin says, if time permits, heart chakra area has been a primary area of sensation stress-wise. Possible scan would be appreciated. Thank you. Yes. And he says, oh, dread. That may actually apply to me at this moment. You're feeling some dread too. Boy, I'm having quite a bit of pain from your heart chakra, Kevin, so I do feel that. I feel like you're grieving. It's not a death as far as a death of a person, but it is a death as far as a significant change in your life. I know that you have gone through some major shifts in the last few months, and you're moving forward in a direction you really want to. It's very positive. But you are grieving some loss in that significant change. And so I just want to acknowledge that and to remind you to acknowledge it, that even when we make good change, even when we leave things behind that don't work for us anymore, there are always parts of things that are good. There's always a person that we appreciate that we had to leave behind, or, some element of a job or a relationship or situation that's good, even if we decide overall it's not best for us to stay in it. And so allowing some grief time is important. I'm just going to move as much of that painful heart chakra energy out as I can. And some of it is just recognizing that you're going through a process and you're only partway through the process. And that's okay. Okay, that feels a whole lot better, Kevin. So I hope that that's feeling better for you as well. Thanks for being here and thanks for your question. Let's see. Oh, Marina says, stay home was the first thing that crossed my mind when I woke up today. I even started getting ready, then I called in. I am dreading dealing with the crazy conflict that was going on at work. I will ask for help. There's a lot to do this month. Good. Oh, good. I'm glad you know what it is. I'm really glad that you took care of yourself, that you stayed home and took the opportunity to take care of you, Marina, and that you know what it is that you're dreading. Sometimes we dread and we can't figure out what it is. So the fact that you know what it is awesome, and certainly seek some help. Okay. Jennifer said, I would like to share something that has helped me with the dump journal, and that is when I write in my book, I close it and place a manganocalcite on it to help me move away from that energy. I feel like the crystal is working on it. Oh, I love that so much. And, manganocalcite is a self-love stone, and so that is a great way to validate that what you said is you loving yourself by releasing what's going on in there. That's beautiful. Thank you for that tip, Jennifer. That's wonderful. Okay, Alishaya says, is there a deceit betrayal thing going on? Well, I think that there is for you. I feel like what's going on for you, and it's painful, and I personally, as a Sagittarius with a very strong internal lie detector, I absolutely hate deceit. I feel it from a mile away, and it is a painful energy that I dislike very much. But I do feel like what's happening, Alishaya, is that the truth of something is coming out. And that in the long run, it is a good thing that there has been a situation around you that has been deceitful for a while. And that the truth of it is now being revealed to you. I hate how painful it is. I hate that you're being, betrayed, because you are. But in the long run, you are releasing something that doesn't serve you anymore, that ultimately holds you down and harms you. So please shift as much as you can your energy away from the negative of it to the positive, that this is an opportunity to let go of something that no longer serves you, a situation that has been bad for you for a while, and now that the truth of it has come out, you can use that information to move forward for you. This is a great opportunity to choose you above these deceitful situations. So I'm sorry that that's going on for you, but I do think that the truth coming out is always a good thing. Let's see. Robbie says, spot on, haha, tornado is true. Thank you so much. We'll take a walk after the show. Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm glad that you know what was going on. And that's really good. Yes, take a walk, do the energy breathing meditation. That will help very much. Let's see. Pamela says, if you have time, can you check my meridians? I sure can. Pamela, that is one thing that I do in energy healing, is that I clear meridians. So I have in my head those lines, sort of a picture in my head of what that map looks like. I don't know if it's exact or not, but I do run energy through those meridians to clear little blocks. Sort of think of it as the energetic version of acupuncture. I hope acupuncturists don't take offense to that. It's just the way that I do it. But I do feel some restriction in those very small lines. Chakras are big in comparison to meridians. Chakras are large energy centers in the body, and then we have all these meridians and chi lines in the body that are small. But little blocks in those little lines can create all kinds of problems for us, can give us physical sensations or physical symptoms and emotional symptoms. So, Pamela, I'm just going to flush the system here. That's sort of how it works in my head. There we go. You did have 2 or 3 little blocks. I'm just moving those out. Okay, good. That feels better to me. It feels like that whole system is functioning the way that it should be. So thank you for your question. Let's see. Let's see. Kevin says, interesting observation. Honestly, I think it's the grieving that which I'm looking to outgrow because it's all I knew. Yeah. Leaving something behind, huh? I will meditate on this. Good idea. Robbie says, I'm from Meridian, Texas, right in the middle. Don't you love synchronicity? It's great. Laura says, any particular crystals you might suggest for me? I'm wearing amethyst and have kyanite and hematite in my bra. Very good. Okay. Well, very good. So you're wearing amethyst, you've got kyanite and hematite. Yes, you need to add a heart chakra stone in there, Laura. So a pink or a green stone, like, let's see, I've got right here some green calcite would be good, or a pink stone like rose quartz or mangano calcite, or my favorite multi-purpose heart chakra stone, which is ocean jasper, would be really great to add to that mix because there's some emotional heart stuff going on with you. So adding a stone that can help to support that would be very helpful. Okay, so I just want to remind you that I do have my class. Oh dear. Well, something's going on in the video chat, but I can't tell. I know. Sorry, guys. I can't roll it up. So I did miss something. I'll have to go back and check it. So they're saying, I don't think that Kristi can see us in the chat. Sorry about that, guys. Remember to post on the other pinned post, because that is what I can see, because the other chat rolls up. I'll be able to see it once I end the show. But don't forget, I have my class tonight. Or not tonight. I don't have a class tonight. Sorry, I'm multitasking and getting ahead of myself. I have a class on Saturday, which is my June energy clearing meditation group. So I look forward to sharing that with you. I'd love to see where it goes. It's really fun to see what happens once people register and I get a feel for the energy. But it's like everyone who registers, there's sort of a collective need going on that we can make a change with. And so it will be a meditation that you can use multiple times. And my meditations are always a meditation and energy healing combo. So don't forget that I have meditations over at my website, kristibrower.com, that are free downloads, that are the meditations that I use here on the show, that are all different kinds of skills to help to heal yourself and shift your energy. It's really important to be able to do those things for yourself. I mean, I love my work. I always want to be able to help you, and I always want to be able to help you to be more independent with it too. I know that there are things that we can all do for ourselves and that there are some things we need help with. It's true for me as much as it is anyone else. And so it's a combination of working on yourself and asking for help from someone else that really helps you to stay clear and balanced and moving forward. So if you enjoyed my scopes or you missed yours, please see them over at one2listen.com. They're called Energy Shift Scopes, and they are a monthly scope. I look forward to continuing to share those with you each month. I do have my new email reading available, which is my Energy Shift email reading. So if you have a specific situation or issue that you're struggling with, that you're feeling stuck, I will give you an exercise that you can do. I will read the situation and give you an exercise that you can do to shift that particular energy and get you moving again. So take a look at that. And if there's any other way that I can be of assistance to you, you can find me every day over at one2listen.com. And I love to work with you guys and love to get to talk to you on the radio, but I also love to work with you on the phone lines. So don't forget that. You will not find me this week on the Psychic Sisters. Unfortunately, my son is having surgery on Thursday, so I will be away on Thursday, but I will be back on Monday with the 1-2 News Show and again with Kindred Spirits. Please stay tuned today. We have lots more great live programming coming up. Following me is the Keys to Awakening with Velvet Dawn. And after Velvet Dawn is Kathleen Peterson and friends. So as always, thanks for being here and thanks for listening to 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.